Werewolves are one of horror's oldest monsters, but surprisingly, only a handful of movies have ever captured how terrifying they can really be. Tonight, we're looking at the best werewolf movies ever made, films that defined the legend, reinvented the monster, and proved that sometimes the scariest creature is still human. First up is Silver Bullet. Based on a story by Stephen King, the film follows a small town shaken by a series of brutal murders. As the attacks continue, the townspeople slowly realize the killer might not be human at all. What makes this movie stand out is the mystery, because the real horror isn't just the monster, it's discovering who the monster actually is. At number 6 is Ginger Snaps. This cult classic takes the werewolf myth in a completely different direction. Instead of focusing only on the creature, the film uses lycanthropy as a metaphor for adolescence and transformation. The result is a horror movie that feels raw, emotional, and surprisingly disturbing. Next is The Curse of the Werewolf, one of the earliest serious werewolf films. Released in the 1960s, it introduced a darker, tragic interpretation of the monster. Instead of simply being evil, the werewolf here is a cursed soul struggling against a destiny he cannot escape. At number 4 is Dog Soldiers. A group of soldiers on a training mission in the Scottish wilderness suddenly find themselves hunted by savage werewolves. The film mixes intense action with brutal creature horror, turning the story into a relentless survival nightmare. For many fans, these are some of the most dangerous werewolves ever shown on screen. Coming in at number 3 is The Howling. Released in 1981, this film helped redefine how werewolves were portrayed in modern horror. Its transformation scenes and disturbing tone pushed the genre into darker territory. Even decades later, it's still considered one of the most influential werewolf films ever made. At number 2 is the legendary The Wolfman. This classic helped establish the rules of werewolf mythology. The curse, the tragic transformation, and the idea that the monster is still human underneath. Without this film, the werewolf legend in cinema might not exist as we know it today. And finally, number 1, An American Werewolf in London. This film completely changed the genre. Its famous transformation scene is still considered one of the greatest practical effects sequences in film history. But what makes the movie unforgettable isn't just the horror. It's the tragedy of a man slowly realizing he's becoming something he can't control. Decades later, it still stands as the greatest werewolf movie ever made. Werewolves have evolved a lot in horror, from tragic cursed monsters to brutal creatures that hunt without mercy. But every fan has their own favorite. So tell me in the comments, which werewolf movie do you think deserves the top spot?